Good evening and welcome, Mr. Maliye, Sai, Pranav. Congratulations to you for your success in the UPSC Civil Services examination. You have got one of the highest rank in the Civil Services exam this year. You have received All India rank 60 in the Civil Services. So tell us, like, how are you feeling after, getting such a high rank in the Civil Services this year?
So thank you for the good words, sir. I'm really honored. It feels surreal. At the same time, it feels relieved as well. I think all the previous years of hard work has come to the fruition. So I'm glad about it. At the same time, there's lots more work to be done. Yes, sir.
All right. So tell us about your preparation journey. When did you start preparing for civil services? What was the motivation behind, aspiring for a career in civil services?
So it started in 2018, sir. The year I've graduated. The main motivation is basically the career that civil services offers is very diverse. It's very challenging. At the same time, it makes sure that you may play a key role in the nation's building process. So these are the three things that has motivated me to sit for the civil service examination. So that has even motivated me for the past 5 years to continue my preparation.
All right. So when it comes to preparing for the civil services, like you started preparation long back. And so, like, how did you prepare a plan of study for the prelims exam, for the mains exam, and also for the personality test?
So basically, the first 3 attempts I couldn't clear mains, sir. But I would say it is very important to have plans for 3 different stages, because each and every stage demands a set of skills altogether different set of skills. So basically, for prelims, sir, it's all about reading those less number of sources, having good cost-effective ratio, such that you spend the efficient amount of time, at the same time get the proper output. For prelims, it's all about getting the analytical skills, where you need to give more number of mock tests, practice more. It's all about simulating those crunch situations in your study place itself, such that those 2 hours of the examination goes well. So for me, I had to identify those key things where my prelim score would be important. For example, subjects like history, polity, ecology. These subjects have high weightage in our prelims examination, so I've prioritized them. At the same time, it's also about knowing the tone in which the questions are asked. For example, previous year questions are a good source to refer, because the exam is all about demanding that common sense, application of the common sense, and it's also the having the current awareness, not current affairs. Current awareness is very much important than current affairs. At the same time, it's all about doing that right amount of practice. So what I had to do is I had to search for prioritize those subjects I need to read which has high weightage, go through the PYQs, identifying the tone of the question, and simulate those things in the study place. This is for the prelims, sir. For mains, it's all about going through the syllabus paper, sir. Syllabus is the Bible for the UPSC aspirants. So you need to identify each and every keyword of the syllabus, because it's a myth that UPSC syllabus is the UPSC questions are unpredictable, because you have a proper defined syllabus at your hand. So it's all about identifying those keywords and developing a proper notes. So this is very challenging process. So we need to have proper sources. Identification of proper sources is the main thing that we need to do. Identify proper sources, concise them, at the same time have proper concise notes. So I have my priority was on the notes, sir, because the first 2 attempts, my notes was not that good. But for the next 2 attempts, I had focused on the notes part. And secondly, as I've earlier highlighted, it's all about simulating those conditions. This entire exam, you need to simulate, such that our performance in those crunch situations are improved. So it's about taking those, building such notes and practice. For interview, it's also the same, sir. For interview, it's not a test of knowledge, as everyone say. It's a personality test. So it's all about it's not about what you answer, it's about how you answer. So where each and every answer should highlight your personality. It should be and it should be in a concise way. At the same time, it should highlight confidence. For this as well, I have relied on simulating those interview conditions, having proper one-to-one sessions with my mentors, with my peer groups, and such mock interviews. So the entire journey, I would say, is all about three things, sir. One is to identify right sources. Two is to build proper notes. Three is to simulate those things. And main, on the top of it, having emotional intelligence in examination hall.
All right. So, like during the preparation phase, you might have, faced a lot of challenges, let's say like self-doubt, and also like, going, deviating from the track of preparation. So how did you manage those challenges? How did you overcome them?
So it's true that each and every failure really puts us down, sir. But what matters is how you rise up from that failure. Because I strongly believe that if the failure doesn't give any lesson, it is indeed a failure. But if you're quick enough to grab a lesson out of a failure, then I strongly believe that your success has started. So my only mode of making sure that I am insulated from these deviations is to have proper knowledge of my failure. Reading failure is very much important because we don't read failure a lot, we read success a lot. But I do believe that communicating with the failure, communicating with ourselves, introspection and retrospection are very much important. So grabbing that lesson is very much important. So I've invested after each and every fail attempt. What I've done is to invest in this learning process, identify those mistakes, and work on it for the next attempt. So I do believe that to make sure that we are not deviating from our path, to make sure that we are not down, it's very important to be quick enough to learn those lessons.
All right. So what different did you do this year? I mean, for the preparation of UPSC CSE 2022, that has given you the massive success in the examination.
I think it's the last 4 years, sir. I would say for the first attempt, to be frank, I was not mature enough. I didn't understand the demand of the examination. So what happened is I didn't have proper notes. I just managed to clear prelims, but I didn't have proper note for mains. So I thought my immaturity was a reason. So for the second attempt, what I've done is I've worked on my maturity. I've built good notes, but I couldn't give ample number of tests. So I lacked intensity. So the third attempt, what I've done is I've prepared notes. I was mature enough this time. I had proper knowledge on each and every subject. But what happened is in some two to three papers, I lacked emotional intelligence. So as we read in ethics, yes, for emotional intelligence is very much important for an aspirant or civil servant, because an aspirant at the end of the day becomes a civil servant. So it's not just having emotional intelligence after getting into service, but also having emotional intelligence before getting into service. So the third attempt, despite of having proper notes, giving proper practice, being aware of the demand of the examination, I lacked the required emotional intelligence in the examination hall, which costed me a good number of marks in my optional papers. So this time, what I've done different is all about firstly making sure that I simulate those crunch situations which I've earlier highlighted more number of times as compared to the previous attempts. So each and every paper that I give at mains, I need to make sure that I simulate them. For example, if I'm giving if the optional paper is basically on Sundays of the second weekend during mains, so what I've done is I thought of I should recreate those Sundays before I go to mains. So each and every Sunday is reserved for 2 papers of optional mock tests. Also for writing 2 tests in a day, writing consecutively, so such that I'm acclimatized to that process. That is one different thing I've done this time, sir. And secondly, I would say being cool, having proper presence of mind across all examinations. I made sure that you shouldn't hype up this exam, because the exam is all about dealing with your mind. So I thought I should hype this exam, because as more you hype this exam, it becomes the performance becomes more silly. I believe this. So I didn't hype up this examination. It's all about facing one question at a time, like facing a ball at a time. At the same time, even for the personality test, I thought I should project my personality. Projecting my personality is very much important there, rather than being conscious about the scores we get. So this is the different thing I've done, sir.
All right. So many students feel that answer writing is a challenge for them. And so when we talk about you, right? So how did you inculcate the habit of writing answers or practicing test papers before going to the actual examination in UPSC? I mean, to write the mains exam. So how did you inculcate those habits, and like, what techniques did you adopt to write those answers?
So I do strongly believe that answer writing is very much important in mains, because the performance in mains ultimately decides our name in the list or not. So at the same time, mains is all about the 9 exams spread over 5 days. So it's emotionally, physically, and mentally a tiring process, because you need to have proper hand, body, mind coordination, and it's a test of endurance and skill. So what we need to make sure that we need, as I've said, simulating is very much important. But I do believe that the main challenge that many aspirants face is that initial inertia in starting answer writing process, because not having proper not having proper examining any source for examining those answers, or lack of understanding about answer rating makes them a bit insulated to start answer writing. So I would suggest the aspirants is to put the pen on the paper, irrespective of how bad your first answer is. You need to start that, because each and every first answer is definitely bad, but that is a foundation for a good answer. So it comes with consistency, sir, because you need to make sure that no 2 days are same. The answer rating skills, once you put the pen on the paper, if you consistently do it, definitely there's a style that will be built. There's an inbuilt style that will come out. So I will say that you need to put pen on the paper for the initial days of the preparation, and identifying the right peer groups such that you discuss those questions. At the same time, answer writing, the best source for answer writing is about finding the right idea of how to write an answer. That is through referring to topper copies or the previous year questions, and synchronizing that with the syllabus paper. So what I've done is, my initial days, irrespective of how bad my answer is, I used to put my pen on the paper. Later, I thought that for each and every attempt, I thought means any test series is must. So I made sure that I used to write a 45 minutes test. Later, I improved them to 1.5 hour test. So later to 3 hour test. So it's all about making sure that you tune your body, tune your mind in a gradual way, such that you reach that level.
All right. So, like, having gotten selected in the civil services exam, now, like, you might be feeling little bit relaxed. I mean, like, from the examination process of writing the exam again and again, keeping yourself like into the let's say, like, that stream of preparation. So, like, briefly introduce about yourself. Tell us about, like, where do you come from? What was your academic background? And, like, how did you start the preparation for UPSC? So that a general candidate, let's say a student who is just passing out from a college, he should also understand, I mean, like, how other candidates like you who have topped the civil services examination, how they have started their journey.
So I think for me, preparing for civil services is always there at back of mind, but it didn't come out so strongly. But in the third year or the fourth year of the graduation, I've realized that based on some leadership roles that I've taken in the college, I thought this is a good career option, because it has got many advantages, but being the diversity and the challenges it has. So I thought, but I also equally focused on my graduation, because the final year of graduation is very much important. You need to also have specific domain knowledge as well. So I do believe that the final year of graduation, aspirants should focus on their campus placements. They should focus on their final year of graduation, those subjects. At the same time, they can, if possible, they can also think about their future prospects. Then do a proper prioritization and then come out. For me, I've focused on the campus placement. Once that thing is done, I thought I should give a thought about this as well. So I prioritized it. So in 2018, after a thorough thinking about it, discussing with my parents, I thought I should sit for this examination. So that is my story, sir.
All right. So, like, you have attended ethics test series at Lukmaan IAS.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
tell us, like, how you got benefited from the ethics test series, and, like, what kind of inputs helped you in qualifying the exam when it comes to ethics preparation, and, like, what role did S. Ansari sir play in your ethics preparation?
I think I've received a lot of feedback about Ansari sir's classes. Also, the Ansari sir's test series, the evaluation of test series. Because in my first attempt, my performance in GS4 was not that good. So I thought I should have a proper test series, a proper evaluation of the test series, such that my scores can be amplified. So immediately enrolled myself in the Lukmaan IAS test series, and I've given around 7 tests if I'm not wrong, sir. So it had 3 sectional tests and 4 grand tests. So the kind of questions that were framed were actually they are of standard of the UPSC. So I thought giving those kind of tests will acclimatize me to those current situations. So that I've done, sir. So in the evaluation process, previously my GS4 answers were too formal in nature. I used to write them like another GS answer. But what I've realized is GS4 is all about showing your personality there. For example, in the mains examination, there are only 3 areas where you need to, where we can have the scope to focus, where have the scope to project our personality. One is the essay paper, 2 is the ethics, and the optional papers. Optional papers because our interests are there, essay and ethics. So going by the after giving the ethics series at the Lukmaan IAS, in my first, if I'm not wrong, in my right in proper whatever like that's me. I'm audible, sir.
Yes,
Not
actually, there was a small interruption, maybe because of fluctuation in the speed in the internet. So, would
so
you please
yeah, I'll yes, sir,
come
sure,
again
sir.
related to, let's say, how you prepared ethics and what role did Lukmaan IAS play, and
Yes, sir,
especially
sir.
role of Hasan Sari, sir, for your
Sure,
preparation of ethics?
sure. So once I enrolled myself into Lukmaan IAS, the initial tests were not that good, sir. My performance was not that good. I couldn't complete papers on time. But the feedback was so genuine. They were like, "You not worry, try to write quality answers." At the same time, the sources that were given to me after the examination, like the sample answers, or else the some case studies examples, or some articles, identifying some articles from newspapers and linking that to GS4, that has attracted me a lot, sir, because linking the current happenings around us to our GS4 answers is a new dimension that I've identified. So I've tried to do based on the sources based on the resources that Lukmaan has provided me after enrolling into test series. I've tried to use them in the tests in the subsequent exams. So then my score started improving. I was like using those thematic elements in the paper, so those were appreciated, those were acknowledged by the sir when needed. So that gave me confidence for sitting for GS4 for the next 2 attempts. So I'm indebted to Ansari sir for the right evaluation. But coming to the second part of your question, sir, like my preparation to ethics. So in the first attempt, I was not so. As I've said earlier, I'm not so mature about the paper, so I've just by hearted what all the sources I had, and I've gone to the examination. But in the subsequent attempts, I've thought that I need to follow 4 things. One is to have a proper idea of the syllabus, because GS4 is a broad paper, integrity, ethics, aptitude. So it is a wide paper and it requires 2 set of skills. One is to write a theoretic questions, 2 is the case studies. So writing a syllabus is very much important, I feel, sir, because those things, those key words in the syllabus which you use in the theory questions are, we need to highlight them in the case studies, because each and every case study is about one keyword in the syllabus. So you need to have proper idea of syllabus, sir. So that thing I've done in my subsequent attempts. Secondly, having proper definitions, because ethics, it's all about writing a simple answer. As simpler you make the ethics paper, the more marks you get. So I've tried to learn proper definitions, proper layman definitions, such that the examiner can easily understand that I have understood the demand of the question. So the 2 is a definition, sir. Thirdly, I believe that having a right set of examples and quotations. So when I say examples and quotations, not just the formal quotations or examples that we get in the market, or the eminent personalities, we need to personalize our answer writing as well. For example, giving examples from our real life situations, or else giving examples based on our observations. So I thought I should have proper set of examples and quotations. That is third one, sir. Fourth one, I feel uh, giving a number of test series, especially focusing on GS4 as compared to the other 3 papers, because GS4 paper is that paper which provides edge in each and every year. So identifying proper quotations, proper sources, giving a number of test series, at the same time having a proper idea of syllabus, especially in GS4. Sir.
All right. So, what what suggestion would you give to those aspirants who are starting their preparation now? Because since they are the beginners, right? So they might be looking for some kind of guidance, some kind of suggestion from the people who have already made it through the civil services.
So I would say, firstly, consistency, sir. I think should make sure that your knowledge curve is always on the ascent, because preparing for UPSC, you need to learn as well as unlearn, because there's volume, velocity, variety of data around you. So you need to properly streamline what's coming into you, and you need to properly streamline what's going out. So this comes with proper consistency, where I would say you need to have a proper strategy, a proper prioritization of things, because you are preparing for two different examinations which are put in a single examination, that is prelim. That consistency is very much important. So make sure that your learning curve, not the number of hours, but the knowledge that you're extracting each and every day is on a ascending curve. Secondly, I would say, having a proper discipline, sir. Make sure that you have proper principles. Your daily targets are met. I would say, secondly, sir, I think. Thirdly, I would say accountability. Being accountable to ourselves, constantly questioning ourselves, questioning our conscience, whether we are going on the right path or not. Fourthly, I would say being efficient and effective, like relying ourselves on the principles of cost effectiveness, where having proper sources, like identifying right set of sources rather than having like a number of sources, finding that one source which can give you good marks is very much important. For that, you need to be proper, you need to be aware, you need to be patient. So the fourth thing I would say, patience, sir. And at the top of it, I would say only one thing, that is emotional intelligence, sir. Because the preparation part and execution part, both of it requires, because you will prepare for 2 hours, for 2 years to write an exam for 2 to 3 hours. So that 2 years of the preparation requires emotional intelligence, and those 2 hours also requires emotional intelligence. That is my suggestion, sir.
All right. So any short message for the aspiring candidates of civil services?
I think have a proper intensity. Have proper intensity. Identify the demand of the question, demand of the examination, and thirdly, I would say don't hype the examination, because the examination is within your reach.
All right. So thank you so much for interacting with us today, and also with the viewers. I mean, we are going to record this session, and we are going to release it for the viewers at large, so that they can gain some insights from a person like you, who have gotten one of the top rank in the civil services exam this year. Thank you so much for interacting with us and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure is mine. Thank you, sir.